Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge. I've got a slip joint for you guys today. Don't tune off. You're going to want to see this. It's got a sneak up choil. So it's a small knife that a guy with large hands that border on extra large can get all 4 fingers gripping on it. Nice spot for a thumb with this Spyderco design. I haven't seen, and perhaps I don't have books that go old enough, if Spyderco has a knife that has this bottle opener at the back or not. Please let me know what the model number is if there is one like this. For those of you who don't know, Sanrenmu does make Spyderco's made in China knives, like their bug series, their bee series, honeybee, bee, all those little guys, and their clip-it tool knives. And so Sanrenmu has made one to be very much in that style, and they've called this the 6020. We've got a tiny little sharpener's choil, which I really like, and isn't on a lot of the Spydercos. That's too bad. I really like little sharpener's choils. It makes it much cleaner when you go to sharpen it. We've got H03 MOV steel on here, your nice leaf pattern, a little bit of a swedge there, a very stabby tip, and you've got a tiny little bird right there, etched in. So if you're interested at all in a very good spring on a slip joint, so this is a knife that won't easily start to close on you. You have to push pretty hard. And you've got a bottle opener, little lanyard hole. If you're interested in something like this, then stick around for the full review. I think you should. The 6020 is fast becoming one of my favorite knives to just drop in my pocket and go. If I want something discreet, nothing showing off of the pocket clip or anything, I take this thing and drop it in my pocket because I know that it's going to be able to do almost anything I ask it to do, and it's going to do it well, and I'll even be able to open up a drink for a buddy or, for myself maybe in a pinch. No problem at all. And it even has a lanyard hole, for those people that like to have lanyards on things. What we've got is a H03 MOV stainless steel blade, Rockwell hardness of, I think it's 58 on this knife. Not bad for a Chinese steel. You've got that classic leaf shape that Spyderco does, and they've copied that. And there's the Sanrenmu logo in Chinese. And there's the model number and the year stamp. That's what that triangle and the numbers is. So this is the 6020 RUC-SA. You got a nice stainless steel handle. I've been reading up a little bit on Sanrenmu. They've got their own website. They've got a Chinese website that's got some information on it. srmknives.com, I think it is, but it's all in Chinese. It seems like when they do knives with stainless steel handles that they tend to use 420 for the handles. And of course, whatever steel that they designate is for the blades. So, nice 420 stainless steel in the handles. It's easy to work. It looks nice. They did some work to put a little bird in there, a little sparrow, whatever it is. Nice little touch. It's got a nice blank area here that if you took it to some engraver, you might be able to get something engraved on there, turn it into a gift for somebody. I really like how I can use all 4 fingers on this knife. Index finger and then these other 4 back here. My hands are large, bordering on extra large, and it just fits in there nicely. And yet a woman with small hands, like female small hands, is also going to find this knife comfortable. And that's one of the great things about this knife. It's really made for just about anybody in the world to be able to get a decent amount of control on it. Even somebody with extra large hands, you're going to get at least a 3-finger hold on here, and that's a really good thing. I like how the thumb riser comes up, gives you really good chance to hold this knife well. So it goes from thin to thick right there. So your index finger and thumb, if you do stab into something, you're very well protected against sliding over and cutting your hand. I'll give you a close-up of this sharpener's choil right here, because that really gives you a nice protection for when you're sharpening this knife. so that you won't get up into the ricasso and mess it up and make it look ugly. I've sharpened this up on my TS Prof system, K02 model, and it sharpened very, very well. You've got a really nice spring on here. You can see the spring coming up right there, and then it goes down. So that big piece of steel that starts back here and is held with two screws, that spring is what holds this knife in the open position. And listen to this. So that's a strong spring to hold it open. Plus, when you've got your finger in here, that's also some more protection against it closing on your hand. So this is one of the safest slip joints that you can get as far as when you're using it and you hit something on the back. It's not going to close up over you easily. It can, but not very easily at all. So it's a very safe slip joint. And let's talk about the dimensions now. We'll zoom in a little bit for that. There you go. So now you can see the whole knife a little bit better. Cutting edge, 4.69 centimeters. That's 1.85 inches. Blade length, so end of the handle to the tip, is 5.8 centimeters, which is 2.28 inches. The blade thickness is 2.36 millimeters, which is 0.093 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, which is that important measurement of the thickness of the steel just after that final grind right there, 0.49 millimeters, which is 0.0195 inches. I say half a millimeter, so 0.5 is the magic number. That is a good target to have. And this full flat grind knife is just a tiny bit thinner than that. That's a very good thing. This is a very, very good little slicer. And it'll open up your pop if you bring yourself a drink or a beer or whatever, anything you've got with a cap to lift off of, you know, it's just going to grab on and lift right off. Very good thing. The rest of the dimensions, I was starting to get distracted on myself, wasn't I? Handle length, 7.89 centimeters. That's 3.1 inches. The grip area, and now I'm talking about right there where my thumbnail is to right about where my other thumbnail is. That's 7.5 centimeters. That's 2.96 inches. The handle thickness is 6.5 millimeters, which is 0.256 inches. So right around 1/4 of an inch thick right there. Nice and discreet. The total length of this knife, when the blade is deployed, is 13.57 centimeters, which is 5.34 inches. Not a bad knife at all. It weighs 48 grams. That's 1.6 ounces. I've got coupon codes in the description below. I would really prefer if you'd use my GearBest links to buy this knife if you want to get one or a half dozen of them, because I get a tiny little bit of commission out of that, and that really helps keep this channel going. This is a knife I bought myself. GearBest did not provide this to me, but I did buy it from them, and I really recommend GearBest. When I was a customer of theirs, before I ever did any reviews for them, they always treated me well, and their customer service post-sales, the couple times when I needed it, was top-notch compared to any other Chinese store. Their customer service is good for Chinese standards. They don't quite have Western standards for customer service yet, but they're working on it, and they're trying, and they're getting better all the time. So their customer service can be a little bit slow, and sometimes it can be a tiny bit frustrating, but it's getting better all the time, and it's getting more and more Western, and they're doing a really good job with that. So the pros, I love this bottle opener. I love this forward choil. I really like the shape. The shape of the cutting edge is great too. Just a gentle belly right there. A nice wedge up here. It's a great little stabber to getting into something. Lanyard hole is a really good thing to have for those people that want one. The strength of that back spring is perfect. I really like that. And it's great for almost any size hands out there. The only thing that I would like to change on this knife, I think there's some guys that would really like to have a pocket clip. And if they would put a pocket clip on here, I think it would just send this thing over the moon. But that's a really small thing. I like it without a pocket clip as well. It's It's small enough, being under 2 ounces, to be a keychain knife. Just put a bit of a split ring in here, and I'll show you a picture of that. And then I can just hang it on my keychains and pull it off when I need it. I like to do that. Or you just use it as a pocket dropper. No problem at all. Let's do some cut tests and show you how well it slices and dices and does all that good stuff. We've got some banding here. This is from a lanyard from Prairie Rose School Division number 8 in Alberta. My wife went to a conference there, and they gave her a bit of a lanyard with her name tag. Look at that, just slices through that stuff so easily. Let's grab some paracord and, triple it up a little bit here. I don't want to go through too much of it too quickly, so just tripling it up, and let's see how well it cuts through that. Oop. I had my hand resting on this table, so I moved the whole table when I did that. But it cut through that very easily, no problem at all. We've got some light paper here, and we'll see how well it cuts that. This is about 16-pound paper. Printer paper is heavier. The heavier the paper is, the easier it is to cut. Let's try it just going straight down on the end. Very good. That's the hardest thing to do, is to go straight down on the end of a piece of paper. It generally will want to fold on you, and I did that on purpose. I got it to fold. But it just slices through when you want it to as well. And you can cut it great from the side as well. Very nice slicing knife. I could take paper like this and just cut all day long. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. Now let's cut on a hard surface. See how that just slices through this light stuff so easily. And it just almost feels like it's not there. It just slices through it so very well. This heavier cordage. This is 9-strand paracord. That's that sort of pinch grip that I can do. And again, this kind of cut just cuts just great. It's a good little knife. Let's try some wire. This is some wire from a USB camera, actually. A Logitech that died. And so you've got copper wire in here. You've got metal sheathing. You can see all that reflectivity from all that metal in there. Cuts just fine. So this knife was recently put on GearBest. If you haven't got one yet, I say go ahead and get one. I very highly recommend this. I can't recommend it higher than I have. It's excellent. Please use my links when you buy one of these. That really helps keep this channel going. Down in the description below is where the links are. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to use the coupon codes that I have down there as well. Remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.